great.
It means the world to me that you are doing what you do and how you do it. So talk to me about La Colmena. Talk to me about the Beehive. Talk to me about what the day in a life is like. Let's tell the story, because I think too few people make their way out here to know everything it is that you are and what's happening here.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times people tell us that Staten Island is pretty far away, right?
Yes,
and
yes.
I always like to say, well, you know, I know it's pretty far away. Now imagine us when we have to get out of the island and when we need to go and advocate for La Colmena. It's not an easy job, but we love it. We love what we do because we know when we get out of the island and we are advocating out there, even though it's really hard to get out of the island, we know that our community is being heard. And with La Colmena, in English, it means the beehive. A lot of people sometimes they're like, what does La Colmena mean? I'm like, it means the beehive.
The beehive.
The reason it's called the beehive is because, well, you know, with bees, right? They go out and they collect honey and then they bring it back into the beehive and then they go back out and then they come with like more bees and more honey, and that's technically what La Colmena is. We have our members who come to La Colmena, they learn about the rights, then they go back out and they teach it to other people, then they bring in more people, and before you know it, the beehive just keeps growing and our message keeps going across the island, and that's why La Colmena, the beehive, is so important on the island. Staten Island is known of being an anti-immigrant borough. However, there's also amazing people on the island. There's amazing people that support immigrants, because we know that when it comes to immigrants, they are what also fuels this economy.
That's right.
And Staten Island is changing. And Staten Island was built by immigrants, just like this nation has been.
Exactly.
Right?
That's exactly right.
So,
in the city, that's all parts of where it is we are has been connected to immigrants, has been connected to foreign-born workers, right?
Correct.
New York City alone, what is it? It's 44% for I think foreign-born workers in New York City right now, right? So I think it's critical for us to be talking about how it is that we protect the communities that are doing the work of empowering folks to find good jobs and good opportunities, no matter their starting point. We need to make extraordinary investments in every community to make sure that those resources are available and those opportunities are available. And I think in particular, the folks that you're working with have found a foothold in those spaces. And the fact that you're not just training, but you're educating, you're protecting.
yes.
And I think the protection part right now is really important. Your work has never been more important. Let's take a walk around and see what's happening in the neighborhood.
Let's show you Staten Island.
Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, my name is Sarai and I am the owner with my father of San Jeronimo Restaurant and Bakery. So we started here in 2020, right before the pandemic started. And it's been such a struggle. It's been a roller coaster of a journey trying to survive with what's going on around us, the guidelines and the policy changes, and also the economy that's been affecting us, all the regulations and what's been affecting our customers. And so being an entrepreneur means really being flexible in all that is happening and trying to adapt to all the changes and all the struggles that are going on. How I've been coping with it is really listening to what the customers are asking of us and also seeking help. I have organizations like La Colmena that has been really such a great resource for small businesses like mine, and we've been able to collaborate and come up with ideas, and I've been able to get resources based on that in order to help me help others, right? Because at the end of the day, it all comes full circle, and I think that's really been a key to our success.
Give us the address and the location again too, so that everybody who watches knows where to go.
Everyone, we are located at 461 Port Richmond Avenue, Staten Island, New York. We've been featured on The Advance, The New Yorker. Come check us out.
About where we are right now.
So you are in the Port Richmond corridor.
Port Richmond corridor. Got it.
And this Port Richmond is known for being a Latino business area, but it also has many diverse communities, and that's where we are right now in the mural, where it shows a diversity within Port Richmond. You have the Virgin Mary, because the Virgin Mary is very important for us in the Latino community. You have the Day of the Dead, because we also do the Day of the Dead down Port Richmond. But then you have like various other communities too that are highlighted here, because there's still a population of African, Middle Eastern in Staten Island, and specifically here in Port Richmond, and also Asian community. So that's what we wanted to portray here, to really highlight the diversity in Port Richmond. But and then you see the little bees too of La Colmena.
I see bees. Yes.
Yeah, and this was in partnership, like with the community, with SBS, but also with the Community Health Center of Richmond. They were the ones that let us do this here in their space. So that was very beautiful to have that partnership and provide the best services to all communities.
Okay, so we need to celebrate murals. We need to celebrate the people coming together.
Yes,
right?
yes.
But more than anything else, we need to celebrate the idea that culture matters.
Yes.
The beauty of the art matters. People can be drawn together by food.
Yes.
To no
yes,
end. And also, communities are changing.
Correct.
And we need to figure out how to make that as comfortable and safe and possible for everyone.
Correct.
While we obviously push back as hard as possible on anyone who's not tolerant of that type of diversity and real world that we live in now.
Yes, and change happens. Either you join and you support it, or you just left behind and not be part of a beautiful, beautiful movement and change that's happening in the community.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And how did the two of you know each other?
If I remember correctly, she happened to just be a customer here at one time. So we got to talking, got a little bit more conversation into what they do, and it was really interesting. I was like, that's awesome that we're doing that for the community. Because again, if you're bettering the opportunities for people who live here, the overall community is going to prosper further. So we just started connecting. She invited me to do one event or something like that, and I was like, yeah, absolutely, I would love to be there, show my face, see what's going on.
Look at this. Literally, this is all that matters. What would be helpful to you as someone who runs a business?
I feel like in terms of as a business, would be a little bit more literacy, maybe training on how to apply for loans. Because we are, right now I operate on 0 loans. So this business is the only loan that I have is the mortgage on the building.
Yep.
But besides that, there's no other loans that we have. And in order to really prosper and develop, I think there needs to be an education, because you try to get applications, you have like 30 different pages that you have to fill out, and you're like, what exactly do I need to do with this?
That's great. And I want to add to in what we talked about earlier, is the value La Colmena has to trying to support different business owners, not just the workforce, not just your skilled workforce or your workforce you're training, but you've also talked a little bit about how it is that you want to support business, because, as has been identified, the flexibility in English is one thing, but there are different communities, different businesses that don't have necessarily those strengths, but there's all the issues that come up on a daily basis that folks have to, and that's something La Colmena has been engaged in as well, right? That's an economic driver there.
So as part of La Colmena, we do try to come out and listen to the businesses and see what is it that they need. And specifically when it's like immigrant neighborhoods, for a long time they're often forgotten, and they don't receive the resources that they need. And what happens is that then they're left alone navigating, and not everybody has a Scotty, right, that is educated, that knows how to speak English, that's well versed or connected with organizations. Scotty is like, if anything, one of the few. And so with La Colmena, we are trying our best to see how can we support, and we know what is the support that they need. However, we're also a small organization and under-resourced as well, and in the neighborhood, and we're just trying to organize. But I do hope that through this, as we're collaborating with leaders like Scotty, like through La Colmena, eventually we can organize someone, or then we can organize the group, and someone eventually can rise up, and we could either create a bid together or do something, because as you can see, Port Richmond is so it's growing, and so it just needs that support, and that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to organize. That's where we're at.
Yeah, and organizing for all the right reasons, to take care of people, to continue to build community, to enjoy great food and great community, and all the ways that we want to do that. Remind everybody where you're located.
Hello folks, this is Scotty from Café Con Pan. We are 3 localities. The one that I am currently standing on is located at 137 Port Richmond Avenue here in Staten Island, New York, Port Richmond area.